Welcome back, everybody. Sujit Patel here of Mailshake. I'm really excited to talk to you today about account-based marketing. I got Sarah from Sigster. Sarah, we're going to talk about account-based marketing. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be a part of your guys' summit.
Yeah, very, very excited. I'm really excited. We were talking in the show notes before. I'm really excited to learn about this process on account-based marketing and your take on this. Let's just jump in. What the heck is account-based marketing? I asked this question to everybody, and I just love hearing the different responses. So what's account-based marketing in your opinion, in your mind?
Yeah, I think that's a good place to start. In my mind, it's one-to-one marketing, but at scale, right? We know that, unfortunately, contacts no longer buy. It's no longer just one contact that buys new software, right? It's an account. It's a team of people that now is working together to make important purchasing decisions. So in my mind, it's very much that one-to-one marketing, but at scale.
Awesome. Yeah, very, very simple. The hard part is doing it, right? And I've Googled everything I can on account-based marketing, and I've read over 100 articles, and I still can't figure out one big thing is, well, first of all, I think a lot of content is so fluffy, but I don't hear anybody talking about how to start, like things to think about, how to get started. So I guess when you're getting started or thinking about doing it, what's kind of what do you do? Like, walk me through like 0 to the first 10 account-based marketing customers.
Yeah, the first two things I want to point out, and they honestly were mistakes that we probably made. If I were to go over and do it all over again, I probably would. But I think when you're starting to think about your ABM program, the first thing is adopt a crawl, walk, run approach, right? Don't bite off more than you can handle. In the beginning, it's so important to start small and test and iterate and add along the way, right? The second big thing to keep in mind too is when you're starting your account-based marketing program, don't feel like you have to go after all net new prospects who you've never had a conversation with. I actually would argue against that. I would say, maybe you have a healthy chunk of those accounts, but it's perfectly fine to also go after accounts where maybe you've talked to them on the phone before. Maybe they've gone to an event that you posted, or maybe it's even a closed off opportunity, right? That as you're getting started, start small, right? And we'll talk more about that today. And like, take it easy on yourself. Try to chase some of that engagement that has already happened to drive those strong conversions from the get-go.
Awesome.
But to answer the second part of your question, how do you get started? The first thing that every account-based marketer needs to do is you have to understand your ideal customer profile, right? If you don't know who the ideal customer is that you're chasing, it's going to be really, really hard to identify those accounts. So, I recommend from the get-go every month sitting down with you and also your sales team to look through closed-won customers and ask yourself, what are the characteristics of these customers? So for us, we know, typically it's B2B companies, right? Who have over 200 employees, who see a ton of value in email and are using a marketing automation provider. But you constantly, especially in the beginning, want to be going through this exercise of who is our ideal customer and how do we go to where they are at, right? So it really, really starts there. And don't feel like you need all of the data in the world to get started either. Once again, I actually recommend starting fairly small. Think about 5 to 6 characteristics that are ideal for your customer base and start there. It's as simple as that.
That's awesome. Yeah. I think you broke it down to a really simple, like actionable way to get started, because reality is if you're just getting started with account-based marketing, you probably don't know every little thing about your customer, right? You have to, it sounds like you're kind of using the just getting started and getting some of the big things defined to then use that to kind of learn through that process. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm a fairly tactical person too. So during our conversation today, like, stop me if I'm getting too tactical. But there's all sorts of solutions on the market too that can help you kind of populate the data points. I always tell the story that when I joined the Sixter team 2 years ago, I was hired to start a sales development team. And before I joined the team, I was working for a 500-person global company that had tons of resources, and I had all these ideas of what I was going to do. And then, when I actually joined the Sixter team, a lot of those ideas went out the window, right? Because for me, I was realizing I didn't have the data in our CRM. We were only a really like 1-year-old business. I didn't have data to make decisions too. So one of the first things that I did was I populated our CRM tool with employee account information, technographic information, demographic information, as much information as I could get on accounts, so I could start to form this prospecting account-based marketing strategy. We use DataFox right now at Sixter. It's a great application. And what we've done is, we push data to our CRM, and we've also set up this account scoring model. So every account that lives in our instance of Salesforce has a score associated with it. And when we think about our ABM strategy, we essentially cut off the top 1,000 and say, these are the top 1,000 accounts that we're going to be focused on for the next quarter. But it really starts with the data, and there's so many data options out there that can help you get off the ground.
I love that. I think one of the things that's really helpful here is that you put the data inside the place where the sales development reps or the salespeople live, right? So they don't really go anywhere else. It's just like straight in your face. You have to be blind to not see if they're top 1,000 or they're, again, like, what is it? Bigger number means better, right? Or
Yep.
Yeah. So, comparing 100 deal versus a 10, it's like, come on, magnitude of order. Obviously it's going to go with the 100. So I love that, making it very simple. I want to talk about the execution now. I want to jump into kind of, so you've got the characteristics, you've got the data populated, and that's cool because you're doing it on, I'm assuming that the CRM, you can populate it for old customers as well, or like closed deals or whatnot. So like who the folks you sold to in the past were. Now you kind of go and execute. I guess, like, first and foremost, who are the people involved in this, in the account-based marketing?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we, when I think about our key stakeholders in our account-based marketing program, it's the marketing team. Oftentimes they're the ones coming up with the plays, making sure that we have the resources to run our plays, right? They're the ones who are running the display ads, right? They're the ones who are coming up with direct mail kits that our sales team can leverage. So first is marketing. Second are the account executives. And third, and probably the most important role, is the sales development rep, right? We think about the sales development rep as being the quarterback of the team. They are the one running the ball. They are the one executing on marketing plays that they put in place. That each team, you want to, especially in the beginning of forming your program, you want to make sure that the role of each team is clearly defined. Another thing I will say too, that where we kind of missed the mark in the beginning too, is don't forget about your customers, right? A lot of ABM, they automatically, once again, think net new, but don't forget about your customers. You should figure out what your playbook looks like on the CS side of the house and make sure that marketing and sales are supporting that playbook as well.
So when you say the CS side and marketing, you mean like that your CS team is also doing the same thing, or you're getting their feedback on what is a good customer, what the process is?
Yeah, exactly. So it's, we're looking at things like, they're a customer, how long have they been a customer, where are they at in the customer journey, and how does content play into that customer journey? And then from there, we're running display ads that is custom to a customer, right? So the information that might be populating for them might be, hey, check out our most recent product release, where a display ad that might show to a top tier prospect, it's, hey, click here to learn more about an ROI success story from one of your top competitors. But a lot of these plays that you run in an account-based marketing can totally apply to customers as well. It's just a matter of tweaking the content.
Love it. That's great. I think one of the things I learned when I just executed my first account-based marketing campaign. And one of the things I learned through this is that a lot of the marketing content and the things I would be using in the campaign, I actually already had. Like I just needed to edit something. I need to use it in a slightly different way. And I originally was like, hey, marketing team, I need all these things. And they're like, do you mean like this ebook and that blog post? And I'm like,
Exactly.
can this ad work? And I was able to piecemeal the marketing part really, really quickly. So that was something to me
Yeah.
shocking because I didn't really realize how much I had.
Well, and it's funny you bring that up too. For us, that is part of marketing's role in our ABM program. You know, we go to them and we're big into persona targeting, right? So we have, when we're reaching out to a VP of marketing, we have custom stationery that we're taking advantage of, writing handwritten notes. We have a custom sticker that we're sending them to put on their laptop. We have content that's completely tailored to the VP of marketing, that our marketing team is saying, yeah, VP of marketing, here are the 5 pieces of content that we're going to hit them with through everything that our sales dev team is sending, the display ads we're running, the direct mail we're sending. But our marketing team is really owning the content and aligning that content to different industries and personas.
Gotcha. I want to dig into that a little bit. You talked about like, well, you're kind of surrounding people in previous articles or content you've written or I've read at least about you from you is you have this 360 approach.
Mm-hmm.
Can you walk through that? Because you mentioned some parts of it, but I want to make sure I get the gist of the whole part.
Yeah, so much of the what we're trying to create at Sigster is this awareness of kind of the future customers that we're trying to bring into the Sigster family, but we're trying to do it in a fairly passive way where, if I'm trying to land Mailshake and bring you into the Sigster family, by the time I call you, I want you to have a familiarity with Sigster. Yeah, I read this display ad or this white paper. I've, maybe seen your brand at a conference I've been at. Like that is the moment that we're looking for. The minute that we make contact on the telephone or through an email, it's I have this awareness of Sigster. So many of the plays that we orchestrate, they're, some are more direct, but many of them are very passive, right? And it's interesting. I'm at a conference right now. I'm sitting in the beautiful lobby in Hartford, Connecticut at the Impact Live conference. But I had a fabulous conversation today with a marketer. And, in a lot of ways, it's like in the B2B world, we're catching up with what B2C marketers have done for the last 10, 15 years, right? Where, you'd go to Dick's Sporting Goods, you put the Patagonia vest in your cart, and then all of a sudden you abandon that cart and you start getting hit with display ads and special offers in your inbox. And in a lot of ways, that's what we're trying to create. As a B2B marketer, that's what I'm trying to create for my customers. But thinking more tactically about some of the plays that are really, really working for my team right now. And I'm always hesitant to share because I don't want everyone to start doing it, but feel free to steal some of these ideas. But
I'm taking notes here.
yeah.
Yeah.
So for us, there is no denying that calling is still king. We're heavy on the phones. We use email heavily. We're lucky that at Sigster, we turn every employee email, so think Gmail, Outlook, et cetera, into a targeted ad campaign. So we're running custom campaign banners that are dynamically changing based on who's receiving that email. So that's a part of our email strategy. But there's no denying too that direct mail is killing it for us right now. And I think about direct mail in kind of 2 ways. So the first way that I think about it is we're big on handwritten notes at Sigster. I alluded to this earlier, but our marketing team has created persona-based stationery for us to use for our VP of marketing, our event marketer, our head of demand gen, our ABM marketer, but the stationery even reflects who we're targeting. We oftentimes send over the sticker too for them to rock on their laptop. But the second way that I think about direct mail too is more of those custom one-off sends. So we've partnered with Sendoso. They're awesome. We love them out of the San Francisco area, to allow our team to do the one-off custom sends. I think one of the more recent direct mail sends that we did just last week that led to success. I had a super creative guy named Riley on my team, and we were going after a fairly big enterprise customer in Chicago, and he found out, I think it was Van Morrison, or I can't remember the exact band, but he was a big Van Morrison fan, and Riley was able to go into Sendoso through Amazon, order a record for this guy's record player that was an old Van Morrison record that we could send with a handwritten note. And I'm not kidding you, within an hour of that landing on his desk, there was a response in Riley's inbox. That I think in a lot of ways we've been on this train where it's been about mass marketing for the last 10 years, and direct mail is that human element. You realize that, wow, this is a human behind this mail. They took this time to research me and my team and my company, and I appreciate this. But I think that's probably why the response is so great when it comes to direct mail. It's definitely not cheap. I will warn you there, but I'm telling you, it works. Definitely works.
I love that. I love the fact that you actually went the extra mile and did research, and you sent them something very personal. I've seen a lot of folks use, especially with account-based marketing, use direct mail, but they're a little bit more, they may be thought through mail pieces or promotional items, but they're not as customized and personalized. And I love the fact that you have a persona base, because really, let's say you're targeting VP of marketing, the chief revenue officer, the VP of sales, like that's all different personas, but that's only 3 customizations you really need, right?
Yeah. And it's not hard. It takes a little bit of time for sure, but there's definitely ways too that you can automate these plays. So right now we're working with Sendoso on anytime we have a closed won customer above a certain threshold, we automatically trigger a champagne send with a handwritten note to their team. That is a big thing that I'm thinking about right now is ABM today, these plays still feel somewhat manual. That how do we make it even more scalable than what my team's doing today? But man, I couldn't recommend direct mail enough. It's awesome. Some of the other things that are working really, really well for our team today too are display ads. So we partner with Terminus. They're out of Atlanta. They're also a customer of Sigster, but we are running a variety of different display ads for different marketing and IT personas, right? And what we're doing is when someone engages with that display ad, we're triggering that data back to our sales team, our sales development team, so they can activate on that. So we're able to see when there's an account who is above a certain impression threshold, or we're able to see if someone's clicked on a display ad or engaged with a display ad, so the sales development rep can call and engage right away and kind of seek that yeah, Sigster, this does ring a bell. I am interested in learning more. That's definitely a core pillar of our ABM program.
I love it. Do you guys use text at all?
Text? What do you mean?
Text message? Sorry, text messaging.
Oh, text message.
Yeah,
text
sorry.
We
phone like text.
Yeah. We do. We use texting quite a bit when we're at a conference for sure. Especially if we're trying to find someone, we'll shoot them a text. And we on the coast, our team has found that in San Francisco, New York, texting is a bit more welcome. But I would say this is a fairly new channel that my team has started to dabble with. It still feels, the feedback I've gotten, it still feels pretty intimate. Is it a line that we want to cross? And we honestly felt that way too when we started sending video. My team, video, I don't know if you've played around with video, but video is interesting, right? Like there's a level of vulnerability when you're recording a video of yourself and sending it over to someone that you don't know, right? It's easy to record it and then watch it and nitpick it and re-record it 20 times, and all of a sudden an hour has gone by. Like I said, my team was fairly skeptical of video until Drift Video came out. we are big Drift fans over at Sigster. It's literally changed the way that our sales development team does business. But when Drift came to us, and do you want me to explain how our team uses Drift?
I would love to. I was just going to ask you that.
Yeah. So Drift is a conversational bot, and what Drift does is they've kind of flipped bots on its back, right? Historically, chat bots, it was a CS thing, it was a support thing, and Drift has changed the mindset for a lot of people and said, well, why can't a salesperson or a CS person know if one of their accounts is on the website, and why can't they engage with them in real time? So how we have it set up is anytime there's a top account that's on our site, my sales development rep is getting notified. Hey, Mailshake is on the site. My rep Jeff can go in and say, hey, Mailshake, is there anything I can help you with today? Feel free to shoot me a note if I can help you, right? We're also able to see what they're viewing when they're on the site. So then from an outbound perspective, our follow-up can be more tailored to content similar to what they were viewing when they were on the site. So it is amazing. We track Drift as its own lead source. My CEO always jokes with us. He's like, when we're preparing for board meetings, he's like, Drift is website. We need to report on it as a website lead source. And we always say to him, no, Drift is Drift. We keep it as its own category because it does such amazing things for our team. But long story short, Drift came to us as they were launching Drift Video and said, hey, Sigster, I know you guys aren't big believers in video, but we know you are believers in Drift and the conversational bot. Would you be willing to test this out for us? So now what we can do with Drift Video is our team is able to record a video. And anytime you view that video, once again, that bot triggers, right? And my rep Jeff, can get in there and say, oh man, I'm new to this video thing. It feels a little awkward. Hopefully you got a good laugh out of it, but let me know if you have 5 minutes on Thursday to connect. And I think over the past 2 weeks, we've driven maybe 3 or 4 conversions through video off of a handful of videos. So it's definitely starting to work.
Quick question on the video part. Are you guys is it personal videos, individualized videos, or how's that? Where are you?
Yeah, right now they are personalized, and how our team is using it today, we typically do it when we see someone engaging with emails that we're sending them, but we can't quite get them to respond. So it's our way of, once again, showing, hey, this is a human. I've done research on your business. Can we find some time to catch up?
I love that. I had to put myself on mute for a second because I'm pinging my sales guy right now to do that. We use Drift as well. It's amazing. We use it for the chatbots, and similar to what you said, when we start to see people come through the website and start a conversation, we jump in and take over for the bot essentially. But yeah, we've not been using videos, and I've got a really good idea that I'll have to share it with you later because I want to.
Yeah.
It's just really broad right now. But anyways, I want to more about this. So this is awesome because this is the first very tactical conversation I've had about account-based marketing and the how, the what, the mediums, and whatever. So this is great. I think a lot of folks are gonna get a lot of value of this. I want to move to kind of the third part. I think is really important of your talk here, of our conversation, is on the measurement side. Obviously, you could do a lot of things. By the way, before we jump in, I want to say I think this was maybe one of your first campaigns that you got me with account-based marketing. And I met Dan, the founder of Sigster, at SaaStr, and you guys had just done a really good job targeting the people you want to go and sell to or meet. And anyways, I got this whole campaign of things, and I got custom stickers too. So it was awesome.
I love our stickers.
Yeah. So I don't have the laptop anymore, but I had it on my laptop for a while too. So I was like, oh wow, when you were talking about the stickers, I got a note too, a handwritten note for the marketing. Yes. One of my businesses, Web Profits, were probably in the segment you would target with your accounts, and so probably on the lower end. But it was just really interesting. I was like, you didn't even know you were doing it. I was like, yes, this is awesome. Cause
Well,
like, I'm
yeah,
not,
and it's so amazing too. I oftentimes too, I think we forget how brand ties to your outbound efforts as well, right? Like that, those stickers, you would not believe the amount of praise that we receive around these stickers. They're amazing, right? We get, I think, 20 sticker requests a week on our website, inbound requests saying, hey, can you send me some stickers, right? And you know what they do when they get those stickers? They do exactly what you just did and put it on your laptop. And now all of a sudden that's an impression that people are driving for your brand. That these are the things that matter, especially when you work, for us, we work in a very crowded market. We always say that our competitors aren't necessarily other people that are running ads through the employee email channel. Our competitors are the 7,000 other marketing technologies out there, right? We have to give our customers a reason to stick around with Fixer and be loyal and want to partner with our team. And it's little things like that that go such a long way.
yeah, I love that. That's awesome. I just want to give you guys that shout out because you practice what you preach. And I was waiting to tell you after you said the whole thing you do. I was like, yeah, you got me. Anyways, let's
You
talk
got
about
me.
measurement. So what the heck do you monitor? Like, what are the metrics you look at?
Yeah, so for us, we've kept it fairly simple for the time being. It's the accounts that we're working. It's the accounts that we're converting. So what's moving the pipeline. It's the accounts that are actually closing. So what does closed won business look like? It's deal velocity. So how many days is it taking to close a deal? And then it is the total touch points on the account prior to driving a conversation. So what does engagement look like? And you want to make sure that as you start to measure kind of those 5 pillars, that you're benchmarking that against non-ABM accounts. Because ideally, if you're doing this right, you should be driving quicker conversions, better conversions, and more dollars for your business.
Yeah, that makes sense. I love the fact you're comparing it to like non-account based marketing, not just like itself, the future month, right? Like you're not just saying like, hey, we need to beat last quarter's average, right? You're saying,
Yeah.
no, you actually need to outperform the others, like non-ABM sales, because frankly, there's a lot more cost to ABM, right? You're spending a lot more. It's kind of inverted where you're spending so much time, energy, money in prospecting and building that right persona and engaging, and then you have the playbook. But sales, what if the playbook just works? I'll have to be frank. Like at Mailshake, we've toyed around the ABM and we've done some math of like the best possible scenario for ABM. Our sales process would still beat it. And so,
Yeah.
like, you know what? Like, look, it is the craze. It is the direction I think the future is going to. But for us, it's like, no, our economics actually tell us this is actually working fine. Scale this.
Yeah. And I think too, that's something to keep in mind is like, you don't have to go all in with ABM at all, right? Like this quarter, what we're doing is we essentially worked with our sales team to choose 115 targets per territory, right? And these are the accounts that marketing is going to spend most heavily on to build pipeline for the sales team. But we're still going after kind of tier 3 accounts, people who fall outside of these perfect fit accounts that I think don't feel like you got to do what's right for your business. And it's also I think people throw around this word ABM. It's really just understanding your top accounts and going after them in a super meaningful way. That's all it is. And most businesses are doing that in some capacity.
Yeah, I think that makes complete sense. I'm taking notes here. Like I don't have a notepad. I got like these tiny little post-its. I love it. So I want to wrap up and just make sure we iterate the tools that you mentioned. So you mentioned Drift, specifically Drift video and chat bots or their chat function. It kind of all ties together. Terminus for display advertising of, and that's an account-based marketing tool, really. Sixter, obviously, for your sales development reps and everyone at your company representing your brand in the best possible way. Like, really good example of Sigster in action, or email signatures really in action is, our customer support team and success team talks to thousands of people every month. Like, it's over 1,000 conversations or 1,000 emails back and forth. And we know they're read because somebody replies to them. That's 1,000 potential times people are engaged in email. They could see an ad or something promotional. We use it for educational content. That can really help. So sorry, just a quick plug there. What was the other one? You said cog something for mail.
We talked about direct mail. We talked about that. We talked about drift. I think the two that we haven't talked about yet are events as being a key part of your ABM strategy, and also G2 crowd reviews or Capterra customer reviews. So with events, think long and hard about the events that you're sponsoring, and kind of going back to what I said earlier, when you're choosing the accounts that your team is going to go after, ask yourself, where are these people going to be, right? Are they going to be at B2B marketing events? Are they going to be at digital marketing conferences? Are they going to be at our Marketo roadshow that they're hosting? But when you're sponsoring events, go to events where you can get in front of as many of your ideal customers as possible. We do both corporate events and also field events. So corporate event is more of the traditional trade show. We have a playbook down for events. Typically we get the pre-registration list. We put together some cheeky messaging. We invite them to stop by the booth for some free stickers from Sigster and to chat with our team. And then we try to schedule a meeting with them after the conference once things have slowed down. We usually spiff it for our team. We try to make it as fun internally and externally as possible, because we all know how much of our budget goes towards events. You've got to be ROI positive. But the other events that we're doing are field events. So field events are more intimate. It's things like a VIP trivia night in Toronto, a Cubs rooftop in Chicago, a CMO dinner at an Italian place in New York. Field events are more so used to accelerate pipeline and get in front of our customers. And corporate events we use more for driving net new conversations and leads for our team.
Love it. That's awesome. Sarah, where could people find you, learn more, sign up?
But yeah, for the events we're going to be at, you can go to sigster.com. You also can hit me up directly on LinkedIn, or just at sarah@sigster.com. But we are going to be on the road in Q3. Let me tell you that.
Love it. Well, thank you again for your time. This has been really awesome. I got a bunch of notes. As the interviewer, I had to make sure I'm writing. But anyways, thank you again. It's been awesome.
Yeah, thank you.